I know many of you have older children at home as well as perhaps younger children, and many of the older children are involved virtually with their classrooms, and in many cases you may be picking up the slack. I wanted to just show you some things that you could do to take what you might have around your house and extend it into some research and additional work for your children. So I love to go to beaches and collect shells. So I just brought in a few of them, and I thought, well, one of the things that could be interesting is to get a shell book, and it's called The World's Most Beautiful Seashells, and it's just full of beautiful color illustrations of shells. So whatever shells you might have, if you had a book like this, or even have the child go onto the internet, find the names of these shells, find out where in the world they are. One of the things that was intriguing to me as I was looking at these shells is like, okay, this is half of a bivalve, but this is a univalve. What's the difference between a univalve and a bivalve? How does that happen? So you can see that you could get the child interested in science, you could get him interested in the geography, interested in marine biology. Take whatever you have in your home and run with it and get your child interested in it. So I had shown you some of these rocks and precious, semi-precious stones that I have, and I thought, well, you can do the same thing. If you've got a crystal and gem book, you can find out more about where that crystal and gem comes from, what kind of rock matrix that it comes from, where in the world. Like I could think about, where did I get these different rocks? Where did they come from? How would a mineralogist or a gemologist want to cut this if I wanted to get a piece of emerald for a little ring? When I first saw an amethyst crystal when I was very young, I thought somebody had cut it like this, but in actual fact, crystals grow like this. You wonder why. As the children get up into upper elementary, they can understand cleavages, they can understand a lot of factors about how minerals grow. So take advantage again of what you have in your home. Now, I'm a traveler, I love to travel, and whenever I travel, I buy cards. So I kind of went through some of my cards today, and I have an assortment of beautiful buildings. I love architecture. So I could just set these out, and my goodness, some of them are so different. Wow, here's one from the Moorish period of time, the ancient castle from Portugal. And so you can just go through beautiful buildings, look at them. Maybe you've got a budding architect in your family, maybe somebody who is an art history major down the line. So just look at them, look at where they are. I happen to have a book about the world's great buildings. See if I can match any of them in there, or one of my favorite things to do with children is to take an atlas. Okay, I got a little atlas that I have. It didn't cost me very much. I can say, okay, well this building was one of my favorite places in the world. It's in Lisbon, Portugal. It's a church called St. Hieronymus, and it's absolutely beautiful cathedral. This is the interior of the church. So I need to find out where Lisbon, Portugal is. And so you could give your child, maybe he doesn't know for sure, but you can give him a hint. Well, it's in Europe. So we get the Europe map out and we start finding it, and then see if we can find Lisbon. I was thinking about, also, maybe I was in New York a few years ago, and I went to the Twin Towers, and I went to the federal building where George Washington was inaugurated. It's right there on Wall Street. There's all kinds of historical things within a few blocks. If you've traveled, perhaps you have some brochures in a closet somewhere. Get them out. Have your child look at them. Maybe I've got my old, 2002 road atlas, but it still works, and the distances between places are the same. So maybe your family has taken a road trip. So maybe you can ask the child, well, I want you to calculate how many miles we drove on that trip. So you get your atlas out, you can apply your map, you learn how to read the maps and find the distances between places. Just
asking maybe you want to plan a trip. Well, figure out how many miles it would be, how many miles we can drive in a day, maybe look up some hotel rates. What would it cost us to take a week's trip to Yosemite or wherever your child might want to go? So just, again, take advantage of the things that you have and the things that are interesting to you and your family.